그대 미소에 난 취한 것 같아. 자꾸만 웃음이 나 어린아이 장난 같아.
다정한 밤 공기가 적당한 걸 바랬던 나를 돼 다른 음악이 돼 달콤해 그대와 나
한 잔에 그냥 콜라다보다 달달한 그 말 사랑해 이 세상 누구보다 더 마음의 이끌림을 따라 내게 다가가 입 맞출래.
두근거리는 둘만의 밤
둘만의 밤
파도처럼
그댄 밀려오는데 달콤해 그대와 나 한 잔에 스파클링 와인보다 향긋한 그 말 사랑해 이 세상 누구보다 더 마음의 이끌림을 따라 내게 다가가 입 맞출래. 다음 생에 태어나도 내 선택은 그대예요. 가까이에서 바라보다 다른 사람 다가와도 답은 늘 하나예요. 영원히 함께 너와 달콤해 그대와 나 한 잔에 피치 마티니보다 상큼한 그 말 사랑해 이 세상 누구보다 더 마음의 이끌림을 따라 내게 다가가 입 맞출래.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Teddy and you are listening to MessyMocha. Let me remove my headphones, make sure that the sound is good. Shout out to the mom, all my other bears. I call the Grizzlies and the Honey Bears. It is Tuesday, March 25th. So this morning, I'm just going to get into the 5 things that you should know for today and possibly talk about maybe 1 or 2 more things because I have a very busy Monday. Hope that you had a great weekend. I didn't come on yesterday morning. I did come on last night and didn't say that. So it feels like, kind of like the weekend, I guess, over because I didn't come on until last night late. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. That's all it was. Really relaxed. If you come on with me or join me at night, that's how it is in the bear cave typically. More relaxed, little music, conversation, light topics, maybe, more deep dives, whatever I want to bring to my audience. Let's see who is joining me in the comments. We have Vicky Black, my moderator, and some of you are in the bushes. I haven't added Facebook. Let me do that right now. Okay. And then also let me know if the background music always, if it's too loud. So let me jump right into what is the headline. I'm going to put up this picture. Let's see if I can do it just like that. Okay. So, to your far right is Pete Hegseth. He is the defense secretary. All right. And this morning, being reported, well, it was being reported yesterday, um, this, I'll call it this breach. All right. So, a significant national security breach, it's saying, has occurred. And it's involving the senior U.S. officials and an inadvertent sharing of classified military plans. You can see right there in the center, in the background, that's Vice President. And then to the left is, who is that there? Let's just see. So I can tell you. I'm just scanning here, guys. Real quick. Michael Waltz. Okay. So, in one of the most shocking, and the vice president's Vance, everyone knows, in one of the most shocking national security blunders, it's being reported that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth shared a war plan that detailed weapons, targets, and timing with a journalist just hours before the attack occurred. According to Jeffrey Goldberg, who is editor-in-chief of The Atlantic, President Donald Trump's national security team was discussing possible military strikes on the Houthis in Yemen in an unclassified group chat. And National Security Advisor Michael Waltz apparently added him to the chain inadvertently. An after-action chat following the strikes was also made accessible. Goldberg discussed that the obvious security breach Monday night on The Source he did with Caitlin Collins. You know, she reports at night on CNN. Although the Trump administration acknowledged the messages, which were sent over the non-governmental chat app Signal, appeared authentic, some Republicans tried to downplay the disclosure of national defense plans outside of approved classified government systems. Let's see if I can play any of this. Jeffrey Goldberg describing the moment he realized the Trump cabinet group chat about military strikes might Sorry for the interruption. Let me see if I can get back to that. Some of you remember, and I'm going to get right back to this article. Bear phone, I know. Right there. Recall just quickly why I just stopped, turned the phone off, apologize, because one time I answered the phone or had my, what was it, chat open, or anyway, and that conversation, yes, it was my phone. It was caught on my live, and I didn't want it to be caught. All right, so I didn't turn my either phone off or my mic off. Okay, so let me go on with this. Wow. No, it's got me thinking about something else. Jeffrey Goldberg, as I was saying, describes the moment that he realized Trump cabinet group chat about military strikes. So I'm going to see if I can play the sound. There might be a commercial. I don't know. You know, sometimes what they do is they will play, let's see. You can probably hear a short commercial. Hang on.
I want to start by getting your reaction to what we heard from Secretary Hegseth. They're saying that nobody was texting war plans, given you were privy to this group chat. Is that how you saw it?
No, that's a lie. He was texting war plans. He was texting attack plans. When targets were going to be targeted, how they were going to be targeted, who was at the targets, when the next sequence of attacks were happening. I didn't publish this, and I continue not to publish it because it felt like it was too confidential, too technical, and I worry, honestly, that sharing that kind of information in public could endanger American military personnel. But no, they were plans for the attack. They were texted before the attack.
And there were things texted that you viewed as so sensitive, you did not even publish them in your report today.
I made the decision that the technical aspects of this, including what kinds of weapons packages, the attack sequencing, and so on, that's not necessarily in the public interest. What's in the public interest is that they were running a war plan on a messaging app and didn't even know who was invited into the conversation. I mean, it's an obvious, ridiculous security breach. And, you know, he, if you notice, he didn't actually answer the question.
So I hope you heard that. Let me remove my headphones again. Yes. Scary. Scary. And you know there's going to be a hearing on that. Let's see. About this fallout. So today, there is supposed to be, I believe, Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, and CIA Director John Ratcliffe are appearing before a Senate panel. There's also National Security Advisor, the Mike Walls, has learned a lesson, says he's a good man, Trump says. Somebody's head is probably going to roll, or some people think that it should. So within this chat, it was detailed operational information was shared, and including specific targets, weapons, systems, and the timing of the planned strikes. You heard Goldberg speaking to Caitlin Collins, saying that he observed these exchanges without participating and later confirmed the authenticity of the information when the attacks proceeded as outlined. He subsequently reported on the incident, bringing the security lapse to public attention, and the revelation now it sparked widespread, I'll call it outrage, but it's being reported concern and criticism. So, security protocols question first the use of signal and application not officially sanctioned for sharing classified information raises alarms about the administration's adherence to secure communication protocols. That was reported in The Guardian. Calls for accountability. Lawmakers, including Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, have labeled the incident as one of the most significant breaches of military intelligence, urging thorough investigations to understand how such a lapse occurred, again being reported in The Guardian. Denials and disputes. Defense Secretary Hegseth has denied that war plans were discussed in the chat, stating, quoting, nobody was texting war plans. He also criticized Goldberg's reporting, referencing past disputed articles. The National Security Council has confirmed the authenticity of the messages and is reviewing the era. I mean, just imagine if it were, well, it's all very significant, if this in fact is the case, war plans being discussed on an app and not realizing who else is on this call. Despite the breach, the White House, has expressed continued confidence in National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and security team, though reports indicate that Waltz's position may be under scrutiny. This incident underscores the critical importance of stringent communication protocols, especially when handling sensitive national security information, and has ignited debates about current administration's competency in safeguarding such data. You can go look up this story on The Guardian or in The Guardian, in Reuters, Associated Press News, CNN, and others. So the Senate will question U.S. intelligence officials on national security threats after war plans were exposed. Again, I'm looking at to number 2. Let's put our coffee cup back up. I'm not looking at my chat. I know I kept that up. It's quite scary. Are people that hired, to be in such positions, national security, defense, they're going to be questioned in a panel on the Hill. There's going to be a Senate hearing. I think that's slated to begin, let's see, right now. Top intelligence officials testify before Senate panel amid war plans group chat fallout. We should be listening to some of it. I just don't have. Let's see if I can make a copy of those who are in front of the hearing right now. There you can see centered, that's Tulsi Gabbard. And I'll give you some updates on that. Let's see if they're giving updates. What is the latest? So 18 minutes ago now, top intelligence officials testifying before Senate panel amid these war plans. Air Force General and Director of National Security Timothy Holt, I guess that's from left to right. Let's see, FBI Director Kash Patel, Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and Air Force Lieutenant General and Director of Defense Intelligence Agency Jeffrey Cruz sit on the day they testify before a Senate Intelligence Committee hearing worldwide. On worldwide threats on Capitol Hill in Washington on Tuesday, today. So, what you probably can't see, let me remove my banner so you can see everyone who is seated there on the panel. I'll leave that picture up for a moment. Let's do it like that. In the latest updates, today's Senate Intelligence Committee hearing into worldwide threats is underway. Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence, and Kash Patel, Director of the FBI, are among those appearing before the panel. The Trump administration officials are expected to be grilled over the use of messaging app to discuss a sensitive military strike after a journalist was reportedly accidentally added to a group chat with top cabinet members. 8 minutes ago, Waltz has learned a lesson and he's a good man, Trump telling NBC News. President Trump on Tuesday told NBC News that he still has confidence in National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, quoting, has learned a lesson and he's a good man, Trump said during a phone interview with NBC's Garrett Haake. When asked if he was frustrated that the Atlantic story has gotten so much attention, Trump said no, calling it the only glitch in 2 months and turned out not to be a serious one. So they're playing this down. I'm just going to say allegedly. Trump's comments to NBC are his first significant response since the Atlantic's Jeffrey Goldberg revealed that he was accidentally included in a Signal group chat where discussions about military strikes in Yemen took place. Trump, in the NBC interview, said it was a staffer who added Jeffrey Goldberg to the Signal group chat, even though Goldberg said that Waltz added him. In a post on X responding to the NBC report, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt echoed Trump's answer, writing stories claiming otherwise are driven by anonymous sources who clearly do not speak to the president and written by reporters who are thirsty for a scoop. Leavitt reiterated her Monday statement that president continues to have confidence in his national security team, including Mike Waltz. So right now, this hearing is going on. Yes, it is scary. Good morning again for those of you who have joined me. Let me continue with the 5 things and then I will probably wrap this up. Deportations. A federal judge, let's get rid of this, attempting to discern if the Trump administration violated a pair of temporary restraining orders he issued to halt the deportation of hundreds of migrants, was told that the information was no longer accessible to him. Interesting. Top Justice Department officials wrote in a filing that the administration is invoking the state's secret privilege and claims any further disclosure about the deportation flights from the U.S. to El Salvador would pose a danger to national security. Let me slow down. The court has all of the facts it needs to address the compliance issues before it, the officials wrote to U.S. District Judge James Borsberg. The administration had previously invoked wartime power to justify deporting migrants it accused of being members of a Venezuelan gang. We've been hearing a lot about that. Planes taking off with, we'll just say, illegal, quote unquote, illegal migrants and or gang members. Number 3, FEMA. As President Trump plans deep cuts at FEMA and works to eliminate the agency, new data shows that 2024 was one of the worst years for natural disasters. According to a new analysis from the International Institute for Environment and Development, there were 90 declarations of major disasters in the U.S. last year, or 1 every 4 days. That's a lot. That's a high number. 1 every 4 days. August was the worst month with 10 major weather-related disasters active at the same time. And just imagine they're planning cuts to FEMA. Deep staff cuts. Quoting, we're seeing hurricane seasons last longer. We're seeing spring severe weather season get more significant. And we're seeing the fire season go year-round. This being reported by former FEMA chief Deanne Criswell told CNN. On to USPS. U.S. Postmaster General Louis DeJoy resigned on Monday. During his nearly 5-year tenure, the former businessman and Republican donor consolidated deliveries, raised the price of a first-class domestic postage stamp from 55 cents to 73 cents, and launched a reorganization plan that has cut 30,000 workers from the employee rolls and aims to eliminate yet another 10,000 through voluntary early retirement. Well, he's resigned. President Trump said he wants to see even more changes and suggested giving Secretary of Commerce Howard Lutnick oversight of the independent government agency, a move that could be the first step toward privatization. Now, if we're having problems with delivery of your packages and mail, I wonder how it would be if it were privatized. I wonder, would they cut down the number of days we would receive delivery? What if our mail, instead of being delivered Mondays through Fridays or Monday through Saturday, what if they cut it back from, say, 6 days to 3 days? How would you feel about that? I would say I wouldn't like it. I expect my mail to arrive, daily. If it's going to save money, if it's going, no, I wouldn't like it. Okay. Finally, director assaulted. The Palestinian director, who won an Oscar for the documentary No Other Land, was allegedly attacked in the occupied West Bank on Monday by a group of Israeli settlers. Hamdan Bala reportedly called the film's co-director Basel Adra in distress, but when Adra arrived at Bala's home in the village of Susha, he saw Bala and another person being taken away. Israeli Yuval Abraham, another co-director of the film, said Bala suffered injuries to his head and abdomen and had not been heard from since being detained. 5 American activists from the Center for Jewish Nonviolence also claim they were assaulted by Israeli settlers at the scene. All right, so that takes care of the 5 things that you should know on this Tuesday, the 25th of March. Let me come out real quick. Again, we are live right now on Facebook and here on YouTube. Good morning. I see Old School. You're on, are you joining me from Facebook? I've seen some of your comments here and there. Yeah. What do you think about what's going on with, let's see, which one shall I pick? If you've been following any of it. Jaguar Wright, any comments that you've seen made? Also, any comments and or videos? Have you watched any of King World's videos or videos by, I called her Canada Dry, or, the Canadian content creator? Are you following that? Mm-hmm. You say sometimes you tune in from Facebook. Yeah, I've seen you there. Yeah, I've seen you. I've seen some of your comments. Yeah, you're saying good morning to the Grizzlies and Honey Bears. Yeah. All right, so let me just do one more thing if I had it up. Let's remove this comment. Last night, I side-eyed. Let's put up the side-eye. Let's take you down. Old School. No, let's do this. Last night, I put up a picture, and I was trying to find as many other pictures that I say might be related to this one that I've seen here and there. So let me first put up the one I showed from last night. All right. I said I'm kind of side-eyeing that picture. And then I went to look for, let me put this up real quick. Another one, and maybe another one. Let's see if I can bring it up. Wow, come on. Hang on. Why isn't it coming up? I have the picture. It won't stay on. Won't stay up. Can't believe it. Of everything I'm trying to bring up, I can bring up every other picture but this one. So let me try it again. It's an Instagram picture that I'm trying to bring up. Let me delete some things from my... Okay. Wow. I don't want you to see the name. I made a copy of this. It might be too big, and let me just show you. I hope it doesn't move. We'll try it. Okay. Don't let me touch any buttons. All right, so you saw my previous picture. There's someone on Instagram who I've learned is following me. And they have a private page. There's several people. I'll say at least 2 people are following me with avatars that are, I'm going to say related. All right. I've been going through some of my chat history and some Instagram history, and I've learned that, I don't know, is it like a message? Yes. You saw the first one, right? I dare not. Wait a minute. Let me just try to pull that one up again. I have to put this cover up. I don't know if they're going to stay. Okay. Okay. So I was side-eye. So now look at this one. All right. A little sunshine. Looking through a hand that's cupped. All right. And then we have this one. Like that. There's also a couple of others. But someone whose avatar that belongs to is following me, and they're following me on multiple social media. Yeah. So I said I wanted to show you this, and there is a troll account that also, I'm not calling this person a troll, quote unquote, but then there is a known troll that I've come across who also has an avatar that they posted that is similar. All right. At least I've shown you this, okay? All right, now hang on. Let me put up, because I don't know what's going to pop up next. All right, let's clear the screens. There we go. Oh, let me just show you something else. I've shown you this one before, but let me just throw this up again, just to remind you. Let's see. Let's see. Throw it up like this. There we go. So this was 2021 when Monique Tolbert was on with Nosy Whole Life. Someone made a comment named Star Gemini 8054. Okay. Says, Danny, did I hear you say you not gonna F with my people and get away with it? And this is a vendetta? They go on to say, I knew this was personal. Okay. I knew it. I am here for it. I hope you are one of Monique Tolbert's daughters. I knew someone from all that doxing would get her back. I watched and appeared on one of Nosy's lives early on. I told her back then, I don't trust Marcella. She soon became unhinged. I could no longer support. She looked and sounded crazy, and it was too hard to watch. Also, the treatment of her subs was deplorable. I now understand why you're going so hard, and I say bravo. You can see Danny Robertson replied, not saying who, but yeah, it's personal, okay? Then this Margie or Star Gemini says to Danny Robertson, baby, I can feel the wrath coming through the screen. Protect your people, okay? That's just one of many receipts that I have, including her own words, to support that it's family. She came because of family. She's responded clearly to Monique Tolbert and the targeting of Monique Tolbert. She asked in multiple videos, made multiple comments. I can't go through all of those now. But when I say that I'm looking for a connection, and I'm talking about, all right, this idea that it's Danielle Robertson out in California, this Danny Nirvana. All right. She has family in Louisiana. Okay. Show me some connection. Anyone out there who might be listening to me that might be familiar, all right, with this story, who might be familiar with the Simeon, I'll just say the Simeon family for now, okay? Because Monique Tolbert is cousins to the Simeons, all right? So show me a link, point me something in a receipt that supports the theory. Again, I'm trying to find a link between the receipts that I have collected over some period and why I think I have the right family. Give me some connection. That's all I'm asking. All right? Give me some connection to Monique Tolbert, to the Simeon family, someone along the line. It can be, related through marriage, through, step family. I'll just say, step sisters, step brothers, exes, someone connected through, could be on one of her exes, right? But again, for me, it's Simeons. Mhm. I definitely know that. I can show you Simeons that have appeared in Danny Robertson's chat that are related to Monique Tolbert, that are on the party line, okay? So I can show that clearly. It's not just Raquel, okay? I've made that connection without a problem. I've made the connection that Daniel Robertson on this platform, the anonymous one, has been in touch with like Raquel, okay? I can show you connections. We know about the connections with all the people who were on the party line during that time, to this anonymous person who's on the YouTube, okay? That I've done. So now I'm asking anyone, even someone from the other side, whoever's, strongly supporting that other theory, because there are some interesting things that are being said about Nirvana, right? There are some interesting posts that are being shown. There's some interesting history being talked about, how she's moving or have moved in the past. I haven't pursued that, but others are pursuing it. All right? Why is this person, why have they deleted tons of, social media posts and closed LLCs and multiple aliases and multiple addresses that are being shown, by King World, and, emails. By the way, Daniel Robertson on this platform, I think Trees was talking about it. Daniel Robertson on this platform has used multiple email addresses. I know that for a fact because I've been sent My attorney has been communicated with. One of the emails, the Lori Davis, email, when copyright infringement or talk about that has been involved. All right. Emails that have been sent to me, this fake nosy hole live. All right. This Alana Wilson. There's Williams. There's, again, I can point to at least a half a dozen more email addresses that are alias address. All right. Have they looked at those email addresses? I don't know. But I can tell you the pattern. There's at least a similarity in terms of, someone creating various email addresses and deleting things, between Daniel Robertson on this platform. Yeah, aliases. That's how an anon moves. But this Danny Nirvana, she's not a known, she's known. So I'm going to ask again, has anyone ever tried to reach out to her directly? I'm talking about all these phone numbers that we're seeing, all these different receipts that would help to explain maybe a connection to that bicycle or Nirvana person, to anyone in Daniel Robertson, this anonymous person, family, any family that you've seen connected to that nosy, what was it? The unmasking group. All right. We know that Daniel Robertson on this platform had access to that unmasking group because she was showing emails and, DMs or whatever in her previous old videos. It would be very interesting to scour some of those. All right. Scour some of those posts, scour some of those videos, and then just look at the chat history, looking for links, looking for avatars that might stand out. That would take some time. And again, I'm simply, at this point, I'm trying to get Danielle Robertson on the YouTube, whoever she is, served, or at least acknowledge that the person whom was served by a process server is indeed Daniel Robertson, connected to a registered agent in Delaware. Okay. There are many, many things, again, that point to at least similarities in behavior as far as trying to avoid links, let's just say. Because if accounts are being scrubbed, if links, if posts are being scrubbed, if Instagram accounts, Facebook accounts, places where you could normally look into making a connection, if those links are then broken, how else can, I'm just tossing it out there. One think of ways, except, people have, saved those comments and can help put it together. All right. There's something, again, I'm going to say it, you got to think outside of the box. I think I've removed those. Let's see. Let's see if I can. Just put that up. The post that I showed you, with the avatar, it's just really curious. The one follower. That picture, there's something about that picture and the other picture and a couple of other pictures that I have when I get time to look them up. I'm going to lay them side by side, maybe make one thumbnail to show you. Okay. And to show you that they're directed at me as well. Okay. And I just wonder, let's get rid of that. Hang on. Let's see, did I remove all that? I can always do this. Yeah, I can always come here. Yeah. All right. Something that I'm trying to piece together. Yes, Baby Juju asked a question. Interestingly enough, did one change it back to another previous avatar? Don't know if it's previous, but did they change it? Yes. I've captured that before. And there's another person who has changed avatars at least 3 times, but it's linked to the same account. So yes. Joanne says, it seems like the only connection is that they are all disconnected. Strange. Do you mean like disconnected from social media? Like they're disconnecting? Or you mean like you don't see the connection? Mhm. Vicky Black says she has a criminal mind and she is impersonating other people. Well, we know the one on this platform is, impersonation is definitely a strategy, a tactic, that is applied over and over and over again. Mhm. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if it was this person following or if they were being followed by Nirvana. Followed by Nirvana, or they are following Nirvana. A post, an account, let's just say an account that I've seen once. Again, it takes time to go back because I wasn't paying attention to any of that at all. It just seems that I remember seeing that Danny Nirvana Instagram account or Instagram handle, let's just say page. It was following someone or being followed, but now that link has been broken. King World showed the Danny Nirvana link to her Instagram is broken. I believe, yes, he showed that on one of his videos. Again, I haven't had a chance, to follow up much on any of that, but there are a few things that are curious. Mhm. A few things. Yeah. So, again, if there's a link inside of that family, then that would be aha. That would be an aha moment. So just get me there with the receipt. Let's see, Rare Groove comes in the chat. Oh, wait a minute. Before I read yours, Joanne says, disconnected from social media. Yeah, okay. That's what you mean by disconnected. Yeah. Scrubbers. Yes, they're both scrubbers. That's a fact. That's not defamation. That's fact. Both are scrubbing accounts, but why? I know why this one on this platform, why she does it. Okay. But why is Nirvana? Why did she do it? Is she just doing it, to protect her privacy? Because again, I don't know who's reached out, who's tried to reach out, or any of that. That wasn't something or someone that I even considered. Yes, did I know about Nirvana before there was talk by King World? Yes. I can show you. I can show you a date, a communication, a post. Yeah. Yeah, I can show you where I had, looked up or heard about this soul cyclist, this truth teller. That's how it would come about is she had truth teller. I'm talking about Nirvana in one of her social media posts. It's probably still up. King World showed it, so it should be up. I don't know if that one scrubbed. If that is not scrubbed, it would be because it's on a website that doesn't belong to her or someone else, posted who had interviewed her. Yeah. All right. I was going to go to another post. Let's see. Rare Groove says, Teddy, do you remember the award-winning Black author? Yes, I do. She came into my Instagram one night or one day. I can't remember, one video, one live that I had. And she said some rather just provocative things, things said to provoke that could provoke me. And she did because I paid attention, but I didn't know at the time. And she used her real name, and she is a public figure, if you want to call her that. Yeah, I guess. Let's see. Her name is, what was her name? Lenora. I'll just say her first name because I remember that stood out. So Lenora came to my Instagram, but I didn't recognize the name Lenora, but it was her comments that caught my attention. And she was confronting me directly about a video that I created on, talking about Daniel Robertson. And she Lenore made references to, certain things. And then again, it caught my attention. So I responded, said a couple of things to her on YouTube while it was being recorded. And then I said, who is this person? So I just went to Google and I, just took a chance while I was live and I Googled her name. Well, it was her real name. Okay. And so I went to a Google, I don't know if it was her website or whatever information I could find. And I put it up during my live. So I could put her face up there and I'd say, okay, this is you. What's going on? You're saying these things to me. I've done nothing to you. Who are you? And it created just a little bit of back and forth. And during that exchange, she mentioned, I can't quote it verbatim, but I have a copy of the post, something about her nephew, and it was, I think, her niece or nephew or something. One of her family members doesn't take kindly, something about that. Take like almost a subtle threat to me, like they would, they see about their aunt or something like that. And then she also said something about an attorney, like she'd get an attorney or something. Well, apparently Daniel Robertson on this platform was watching, because at the end of the exchange, then boom, my video goes black. Yeah, she struck me. Daniel Robertson struck me as Lenora's authorized agent. Yes. Well, I later found out that she moderates. She was one of her moderators. Lenora, this author, Black author that you're referring to, is one of Daniel Robertson's moderators. And come to find out, well, I guess it's a different name on YouTube. I didn't know. And she, Lenora, post my photograph that was taken when the police came out to my home. Well, Lenora has made multiple comments about me. That are rather nasty. And she's a public figure, this Black author. Yes. And so I just wonder, okay, so going back to Rare Brew, an award-winning author who supports Daniel Robertson and knows about her behavior, and a person who would maybe have social circles that might cross paths with some folks like in, oh, y'all better leave me alone. Let me not get onto that. But anyway, I just found it curious. Yeah. Somebody else. So since I mentioned the picture in my bathrobe, or in a robe that I put on, I don't wear it. I just grabbed it out of my closet. Do you still have my picture up, Lenora? In the bathrobe? On your YouTube? This isn't a threat. I'm just asking a question, Lenora. Do you still have my picture up? Because I got many of your posts, Lenora. Yeah. Since you were so interested. And I just found it kind of fascinating, because this is a person who is educated and says they have this and they have that and this and that. And they, kind of threw out a subtle threat on me about the lawyer. If I could ever get, past first base, it might be interesting to hear from Lenora. Okay. Maybe you know something, Lenora. I didn't say you did. But maybe you might know something about Danielle Robertson on this platform. You see how easy that was? Now, why'd you bring that up, Rare Groove? Because I was supposed to be gone. It's an hour and 13 now. Now I'm getting ready. Now I could launch off, into a conversation, right? That's not slandering you. No, it's just asking a question. And the reason I can ask that question is because you approached me first. And you put up my picture in the bathrobe. And you've made lots and lots of comments about me in deleted videos. So I just wonder, who do you know? Who do you know? Do you know somebody? Oh, I better not say the state or the city. It would just be a question. See, I haven't asked the question. I bet you. If I started talking about a couple of things, I bet I might get another 10 people over here real quick. But I said I have a lot to get done and I have some appointments. To get to. Okay. Yeah. See, this is the part it always gets good after the hour. So I'm going to stay focused. And I hope everybody enjoys their day, their Tuesday. Yeah. But I just wonder, I'm going to ask again, Lenora, do you still have my picture in the bathrobe? You talked about how I looked in my bathrobe or something, I don't know if it was something about musty and this and that. Ooh, girl. I say no more. All right, baby Juju says, great commentary. Live, good day, Teddy. Yes, biggest bear hugs go out to all the Grizzlies. Please hit the like on your way out. Email me at unwinewithteddy@gmail.com and join me sometime when I come on later tonight. That's it for me. Should I read just a couple more comments that I've overlooked? Bless says, Teddy, you have the dots. Just connect them. You mean I've got all these dots around me and all these things? Just connect them. Dot, 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 dot. Let's see. Bless says, I had to drop out of the bushes after Rare Groove's comment. Who? What is this? But it's interesting that she follows Soul Cycle and Moderator. Who follows Soul Cycle and Moderator and Robot? Oh! Okay. Oh, are you saying, how do you know? Do you have a receipt? I mean, a person could follow, somebody, but that. And when did she start following, if you know? This is what you're saying. Because people can scrub stuff, be gone like, we're talking and the boom. You're saying the award-winning author. She is a moderator, so maybe, you just never know why people follow people. Why was she, follow, looking at me on my Instagram? Not my Instagram, but my, my YouTube video. Yeah. When I got struck. Yeah. She felt she had to protect Danielle, that she had to raise her Avenger sword at me. I didn't know she was an Avenger. Yeah. Yes, she came directly at me. Everybody saw that. And she has a pass. She was a public figure. She's an award-winning author of confusion. Sometimes this video should be archived. It's like let me keep on with the sentence. Okay. Guys, let me go. Let me check my email, okay? Let me come back later tonight and we can pick this up. That was a very beautiful song this morning that I played. Love Hour, and let's see, You're All I Need. That's it for me. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Teddy. Have a great Tuesday.
두 눈을 감아 가만히 더 느껴봐 기분 좋은 긴장감 내게 말해줘 tonight 널 알고 싶어 따분할 만큼 이성적이었던 나 지고 있잖아 네 앞에 서면 생각도 멈춰
Okay, let's cut that song for a minute. Yes. That's why Rare Groove, I said, no, I can't remember. So I must have looked it up. Was it during that video? I'll have to go again. If I did, I made a copy of it somewhere. And if I showed it, did I show it? I'd have to go through my, I'm sure that I would have. Maybe. But I can definitely remember now. Yeah, mentioning. Okay. I'll look it up to make sure. Okay. The receipt I'm talking about.
사랑에 빠지는 건 바보 같다고 그렇게 난 믿었었는데 유일한 사랑은 너 하나란 걸 나는 확신해 You're all I need 너도 같다면 의심의 여지가 없는 거잖아 You're all I need 너의 눈빛과 작은 향기까지 다 나를 간지럽히네 모든 신경이 널 향해 있어 사랑에 빠지는 건 바보 같다고 그렇게 난 믿었었는데 유일한 사랑은 너 하나란 걸 나는 확신해 You're all I need 너도 같다면 의심의 여지가 없는 거잖아 You're all I need 사랑은 절대적일 수가 없다고 그렇게 난 믿었었는데 유일한 사랑은 너 하나란 걸 나는 확신해 You're all I need 너도 같다면 의심의 여지가 없는 거잖아 You're all I need